and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jacob Weisenberger, and I'm a guitarist at Music University. Today, we're going to talk about multiple types of guitar devices, their pros, cons, and the history of them. Let's dive into it. Throughout the history of the guitar, there have been many types of holding devices or methods to keep the correct posture and position that you may need. If you have any questions about sitting position or correct posture, I have a video on that, and it'll be linked down below. Dating back as far back as the Renaissance and Middle Ages era, guitarists have used what we call a strap, which is a cloth or string tied around from the head of the guitar to the back of the guitar, and it helps bring the guitar up and holds it at a 45-degree angle to keep us in a good posture and easy access to the fretboard. When you get into the 18th century, however, you got people like Sohr, Aguado, and Carcassi that came with their own innovative methods. Sohr's method, what he called the table method, is where you would put your guitar on the edge of a table and have it sit just right to put it at a 45-degree angle. Nowadays, we don't really need to do that because we have innovative devices to help with keeping that 45-degree angle. Aguado's method was he had a tripod that was patented and built for him that you would put on the right side of you, away from the middle of your body, on the outside of your leg. And you would hold the guitar there and you bolt it in and it would hold it straight up for you, and you don't even have to touch you don't have to hold the guitar at all. You just play it right as you're sitting there. The problem with that is you cannot move the guitar. It is very sensitive and it's just not effective nowadays. Carcassi's method we still use today, and it's called the footstool method. His footstool was much bigger and not a lot of options. Today, we have a footstool like this, where it's very slender and there's multiple different heights that you can choose from. When we get into the early 20th century, the great Andres Segovia adapted Carcassi's method of a footstool and innovated it with a much adaptable method. However, during these times, equal rights were not a thing as they are today, and so he had a method for men and women, and how he would suggest that women cross their legs in between if they were wearing a dress. Nowadays, we have gender neutral clothing, so it does not matter. Sit however comfortable it makes you feel. As we get into the modern era of guitar, we have a plethora of holding devices that we can choose from, all on a website called Strings by Mail, which I will link every device I talk about in the description, so go check that out. One of the most popular ones that we have today is the footstool that I mentioned earlier. It is one of the most popular holding devices that for beginners and people around the world to play with. We have multiple different heights, as I said, and it's just easy to carry because it folds up real nicely. You can put it in a backpack. That is one way. But a problem with this is that it elevates your left leg, which can cause tension in your back and give you back aches, especially if you have a long torso. So a lot of people have kind of drifted away from this due to that fact. So as we go on to many different holding devices, we'll talk about each pros and cons of each one. The Murata, or the Woodside holding device, as you can see here, is a device that is brand new, that has been around for a couple of years, not that long. And what it is you put two magnets inside the guitar, if I get my guitar, right around this area, and then you have a magnet on the other side that you can adjust the height of, and it magnetically connects there. And you can put it and it holds it correctly, and you can adjust it however you need. They run about, I think I saw them run about $150 to $200. So pretty pricey. Some pros is that I've seen a lot of people review saying that they love it and they have a lot of praise to say about it. Some cons that I'm wary of is I'm really wary of putting magnets inside the guitar because magnets, I'm afraid of it snapping too hard. Another reason is, what if I want to change where I'm positioning it? Do I have to go inside the guitar and move the magnets again and find the perfect position? It just seems like a lot of effort, but I've heard a lot of people praise it, so maybe it is worth it. One guitar device that I do actually own that is one of the newer ones as well is called a guitar lift. and it is suction cups. There is a padding on this side to keep it secure. And what you do is you put it on the back of the guitar like this. You suction cup it. They're called One for All, that has many different areas of height. There are also ones for long, medium, and small. I chose this one because I like to change things up. So you screw the one that keeps it from different heights, you suction cup it in, stays like this, put it on your left leg, and you go. Really nice, I feel really secure. And if I put a non-skid pad that I talked about in my earlier video of sitting position on the right leg, I feel very, very secure. I don't feel like I can move this thing anywhere. This one runs about $150 as well. I've seen a lot of people use this. I've seen a lot of GFA winners use this, such as Leonela Alejandro. I have noticed some difficulties with the suction cups as they get older. You might have to change them out because they will stop sticking. And I've had that happen in the middle of performance, and it is not fun. So that is a con. But if you clean them out, they should stick relatively well and no damage on the guitar at all, really. So this is a good option if you can spend $150. The flipper, the neck up, and the A-frame are all very similar holding devices that use suction cups just like the guitar lift. And what they are is they are Velcro or metal rods that flip out onto your left leg. They're suction cup into the side of the guitar, right around here, and you flip it up and you hold it like this. Same cons as before with the guitar lift, that the suction cups may fall off during a performance. I used to have a flipper and I would put it on, and then the flip side that would hold the guitar would make the suction cups fall off and my guitar would fall. So that is a con. Pros is that it does not hurt your back when using this, and I think they're relatively cheap compared to the guitar lift. Lastly, the Dynoret is a really good option I've seen a lot of pros use. It is basically a black cushion that you can put on your left leg, and what I've seen a lot of guitarists do is they combine that with a footstool on a very low setting to bring the guitar up higher without having back pain. And I've actually seen a very famous one, Pablo Sainz Villegas, have a specifically designed Dynoret that attaches to his guitar. So that is a very good way. I think they're about $20 to $50 on Strings by Mail. They're relatively cheap. They come in a nice plastic baggie and it's very nice. You can kind of attach to your backpack. I also think it is a very good way. I myself have not tried it in a relatively good way. I kind of tried it in a setting where they were trying to sell it to me and I didn't have time to play with it, so that's how it is. I might try it in the future, but for now I'm sticking with the footstool. I like it, it helps me, but I know that some people, the back pain is overwhelming. So in this video, we talked about a whole plethora of holding devices. We talked about the history of them, starting with the Renaissance and Middle Ages with the strap. We talked about how Soar's table method may have been effective for him, but not effective as the times moved on. Aguado's tripod method, same thing. It doesn't really seem effective in this day and age. And Carcassi's method is the one that stuck around and really helped innovate how to hold the guitar. As we saw, Segovia took Carcassi's method, changed some things, and really pioneered the age of different ways of holding the guitar. In the modern age, we have noticed there are a plethora of guitar devices such as the footstool, the Murata, the A-frame, the flipper, the neck up, the guitar lift, and the Dynoret. All with their pros and cons. You just have to experiment and see what works best for you. I really encourage you to try a lot of these things out. If you go to some of these festivals, there'll be lots of people with these kind of things, and they're more than welcome for you to try them out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet, click the link down below to watch my sitting position video, and keep on the lookout for more videos coming soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a good one.